bike itself is, it's a funny thing. It's almost like you can't even explain it completely, why you like it so much. Yeah, I like the mechanics of it too, you know, the round wheels and the gears that shift. And yeah, there's something about it. You know, after years and years and years, that bike kind of almost becomes a part of you. It's an extension of you that can help you to go fast and help you to get places that are beautiful and quiet. And just that feeling of being able to get out, work hard, go fast, go a long ways was really good. But now it has kind of become more of a part of my relationships over the years, and we've kind of drifted away from road bike riding and have gone more to gravel and to mountain bike riding now. So you're in more peaceful environments with people that you've known for years and years and ridden with mostly for a long time. And there's something really sweet about that combination that I really like. You know, I feel like my cycling friends are kind of my tribe. Even though I have to be the old guy, I'm okay with that. When you get into your 60s, your body really changes a lot. You know, I might come across as, you know, kind of easygoing and mild-mannered, but, you know, I really have had to struggle with my ego. Honestly, if I tell the truth, that there's some of that I have not enjoyed at all. In fact, I remember riding with somebody when I was in kind of my prime, and he would always try and keep up and then later on try and get ahead of me when we're on our bikes, and I wouldn't let him. He got so frustrated and he called me the ego killer. Yeah, it was really hard to sometimes go out on a ride and to know that you can't do what you did before, and to be okay with that, to not be able to keep up with people that you used to be able to, you know, kind of dominate. I didn't like that. It took me a long time to kind of let go of that and just enjoy being with people and not worry about being the first one to the top of the hill all the time. But I have to admit, it's still a little less fun at times than it was before in that regard. The bike fixing thing initially was just to keep my own bikes going. I bought a bunch of tools and converted my garage to a bike shop, and it kind of developed slowly. Neighborhood kids, family members. Every one of my grandkids has at least one bike that their Grampy has put together for them. And so it's been, in that regard, a great way to connect with them, like for a birthday to redo some bike and present it to your little granddaughter, and she just loves it. I mean, that's pretty special. But I've realized, you know, a little bit more about who I am and what makes me tick, and some of the things that I was pursuing really, you know, like to impress people, be seen, and to win. Even though I was drawn to those things, it really wasn't what kind of satisfied my heart's desire. And I realized that I really enjoy serving. What brings me joy is expressing kindness to people, and also being generous with time and with bike stuff especially. And so it kind of came out of that. And two, I like working with my hands. I've discovered that it's really fun most of the time to pick up some bike that has been cast away, that if you don't do something to it, it's probably going to end up in the landfill or dump. And to take that bike with the stuff you have and the parts that you've accumulated over the years and make it into something nice that's functional, that actually looks good, you know, make it shiny again, and then present it to somebody. I just think that's so fun. Sometimes you pick up a bike and you think, wow, this thing's got all kinds of potential, and then you start working on it and it's like, oh no, what have I got myself into here? This is not going to be great, and it's frustrating. But I have had more times where you pick up a bike and it just looks like, how is this thing ever going to function and look good again? And you just start chipping away at it, and voila, it does work, and it does look nice, and it will make somebody pleased to have it. It's almost like these little miracles take place sometimes too, because I haven't told too many people this story, but often I'll be working on a bike and it needs some specialty part to to fix it that if you went to a bike shop, you'd never find one. So then I'll go look in one of my bins, and I can't remember, exactly what I have in all these part bins. And sure enough, I'll look in this particular bin for this particular part, and I'll be darned if it isn't in there. And that's happened so many times. And sometimes it's kind of an escape. I think getting out here and doing something when maybe you've got something bugging you, or you're going through a little bit of a harder time, especially if you have a project where it's coming together well. There's something about that is kind of restorative. It's almost like you're kind of restoring yourself while you restore the bike a little bit. Yeah, I always thought cancer was for other people, because I've always been, healthy, strong with the exception of my joint issues. I realized that, this life isn't going to go on forever. And so you kind of have to, at some point, prepare for, what lies ahead. We all have to pass, through death. It has made me think about that more as a reality instead of kind of in more of a theoretical, kind of mind process that, no, this is real. And to be okay with that, my joy has probably been a little bit higher than it was before I knew I had cancer. You can go through a very difficult thing and you can still have joy that just like joy is provided to you. And joy is different than happiness. I haven't been that maybe as happy about this, but I've been joyful, and I don't know what the best definition would be of joy for me, but kind of that, I've heard it described as a pervasive sense of well-being, that everything is really okay and everything will be okay. It's kind of like, what do you want to be spoken about you when you're gone, or what do you want to leave behind? I would like my family to know, without a doubt that I love them, and I'd like my friends to think the same thing. To me, that's a real connector to the faith piece in life, that I'm a follower of Jesus, and that, the real Jesus, not the nationalistic church Jesus, but the one that asks us to love one another and each other, and to let his Spirit kind of work in our hearts and produce things in our lives that will be my legacy. Those things will be my true legacy. But it sure is great when it all falls together. I'm with you. Yeah, we should go for a ride.